This time last year, I had not yet unplugged. I was plugging into the wall. I would try not to use power more than necessary, but I had no sense of how much things used. Right now, I'm using a tiny fraction of what I used before, but because I made it through the winter solstice, and now we're past the equinox. In the winter, I can only go up at like 11 to 3 maybe, and the sun is low on the horizon, so I'm lucky if I can get a full charge. Now I can come up at 9 a.m. and start getting serious charge that I can only get at like noon, and that's good until like 5 or 6. When I hit the winter solstice, thinking, up until then I kept thinking, I'll give up soon. But on the winter solstice, I realized tomorrow will be easier than today. If I made it here, tomorrow will be easier, the next will be easier, the next will be easier. Now springtime, no problem. So then I started thinking, well, if I make it to 1 year, that's the easiest time.
The fridge I unplugged in September 2021. And for a physicist, the circle doesn't seem necessary, just a slit.
So bruised apple, free. And it's like there's so much stuff that's getting thrown out in the city. Already washed. So 10 years ago, I gave you my first challenge to try to avoid packaged food. I thought it'd be more expensive, less convenient, less delicious, less accessible. Exactly the things that I thought would be problems were actually places where it was better. What I've discovered by actually doing it is what everyone thinks the opposite. Everyone thinks, oh, it's a burden, it's a chore. It's glorious. It's more delicious, it saves money, it's fun. Into the wall, it would cook faster. But whatever, it takes however long it takes to heat up. So these are just the jars. So I challenged myself to go for a year without flying.
And at that time,
I used to think that acting more sustainably, it's like a burden to bother people to do these things. But on the other side of trying, there's always connection. There's always people. It's always community. And the flip side is less sustainability is almost always more isolating.
yeah.
Exactly those things that I thought would be negatives were positives. So that led me, what other changes are possible?
Some oregano.